I scream. You scream. We all scream for ice cream. Though this popular refrain originated with Howard Johnson, Bill Maul, and Robert A. King's 1927 song, Ice Cream.
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
People across the globe have been enjoying different versions of the popular frozen treat for thousands of years. As the centuries passed, unique takes on ice cream started popping up everywhere, and the world over has been screaming ever since. So, today we've got the scoop on every style of ice cream we could find. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel and let us know in the comments below what other food styles you would like to hear about next. Okay, time to live the Americone dream. On a per capita basis, America eats more ice cream than any other country on Earth. It's good to be number one. But when most Americans think of ice cream, what they actually picture is a traditional French hard custard made from cream, sugar, and eggs. The resulting dessert is rich and chewy, and it can be made into a wide swath of sweet or fruity flavors. While no one knows for sure when this recipe first found its way across the pond, the first known mention of American ice cream comes from the mid-1700s. By the U.S.'s founding, ice cream had already become a cornerstone of American cuisine, regularly enjoyed by the likes of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Benjamin Franklin. Today, this French-style hard custard is so commonplace within the U.S. that most Americans simply refer to it as ice cream, with no other descriptors or adjectives needed. Philadelphia-style ice cream, also sometimes called either New York style or American style, did not originate in Philadelphia, or in America for that matter. The simple milk, cream, and sugar mixture makes it among the earliest ice cream recipes around, and it likely only got its Philadelphia name as 19th century Americans tried to set their culture apart from their European heritage. Ultimately, all that differentiates Philadelphia-style ice cream from its French-style competition is its lack of eggs, an omission that makes Philadelphia-style officially not a custard. The resulting mixture is lighter and airier than custard ice creams, making Philadelphia-style, in turn, better suited for milder, less rich flavor combinations, like vanilla or strawberry. In Italy, gelato just means ice cream. So, when you're scooting around Roma, gelato comes in a wide variety of forms, and the term can be used to denote basically any type of ice cream. To Americans, however, gelato refers to a specific ice cream style, where there are usually no eggs added and the cream is mostly replaced by whole milk. The end product is then slow churned, making for a denser, less creamy ice cream that's stored at higher temperatures than its traditional American counterparts. These higher required temperatures, in turn, make gelato nearly impossible to store within American home freezers, which means stateside gelato can typically only be found in gelato-specific ice cream parlors. Sorbet is among the oldest frozen desserts, tracing all the way back to the Persian Empire some 2,500 years ago. It's essentially a dairy-free sugar syrup that's too dense to fully freeze. It usually includes ice, fruit juice, and fruit puree, all of which have been whipped together with a sweetener, usually either honey or sugar. Consequently, sugar-based sorbets are a go-to product for vegans looking to get their ice cream kick. Due to its lack of any sort of dairy, many argue that sorbet is not, in fact, ice cream, but that it's its own thing entirely. Italian ice is a similar treat. The only difference between the two is that Italian ice uses less sugar. The resulting treat is extra light and airy, and has become a popular mainstay in Northeast America's Italian eateries. Kulfi came out of the Mughal Empire around 500 years ago. It likewise today remains a staple Indian dessert, often paired with traditional Indian flavors, like mango, rosewater, or pistachio. It's a popsicle-shaped ice cream, made from cooking milk mixed with sugar, nuts, and spices for hours on end. This mixture eventually turns thick and syrupy, before being frozen onto sticks. The resulting ice cream is milk-forward, meaning it isn't quite as heavy as its creamier, egg-infused cousins. Mochi is a traditional Japanese pounded rice cake, For hundreds of years, Japanese people have been using these rice cakes for all sorts of sweet treats, including the red bean paste-filled daifukus. But the first mochi ice cream wasn't invented in Japan. Instead, it was whipped up by Francis Hashimoto, the former CEO of Los Angeles confectioner Mikawaya, along with some help from Francis's husband, Joel. In the early 1990s, at Joel's suggestion, Frances developed her very own form of ice cream that could withstand being kept in a mochi wrapping. And by 1993, Mikawaya was producing 7 different flavors of these mochi-wrapped ice creams. Now, decades later, Hashimoto's still secret recipe has come under the ownership of My Mochi Ice Cream, a company formed in 2015 to continue making Hashimoto's mochi-wrapped delicacies into the present day. While Philadelphia-style ice cream may sometimes be called American style, there's only one true all-American ice cream out there: soft serve. Soft serve ice cream was first made in 1926 by Buffalo, New York's Charles Taylor. Taylor was sick of making ice cream the slow, old-fashioned way, so he came up with a machine that quickened everything along by introducing extra air into the ice cream during the ice cream's churning process. This made for a lighter and softer dessert that could be stored at warmer temperatures. It wasn't long before Carvel, McDonald's, DQ, and a boatload of other brands spread Taylor's idea from sea to shining sea. Today, soft serve ice cream can be found on just about every street corner in America. A goudak, also called Alaskan ice cream, is made by the Alaskan Athabascans. It's made from the whipped fat or tallow of an animal, usually a caribou, a walrus, or a moose, along with dried fish or meat. This combo is then mixed with berries to make an ice cream that is far more savory and sometimes fishy than its old-world counterparts. But does it come in Rocky Road? Meanwhile, down in what is now British Columbia, the indigenous people of Canada had another take on ice cream that they continue to make today. It's called squishum, and it's traditionally made from soap berries mixed with both water and another type of berry. The exact choice of berry depending on the desired level of sweetness. In more recent times, however, these other berries are often replaced with cane sugar, making sweetened soap berries the primary flavor. New England-style ice cream is similar to its French-style competition, but it makes far greater use of milk fat and a lower use of air. The resulting ice cream is incredibly dense, chewy, and rich, and it's often paired with an assortment of added cookies or candies. While New England-style ice cream remains a staple treat from Boston, Massachusetts to Portland, Maine, it has in recent years been spread far and wide by the near-global expansion of Ben & Jerry's. Midwestern frozen custard has come to occupy all corners of the U.S. through the rapid expansion of Culver's. What sets this specific type of frozen custard apart from other frozen custards is its extra high fat content and its nearly complete lack of added air. This makes Midwestern frozen custard extraordinarily soft, almost shapeless, and among the richest of all available ice creams. These frozen custards, as with New England-style ice creams, are often paired with a variety of added candies or cookies. And they likewise served as the inspiration for the 1985 development of DQ's Blizzard. Sherbet is essentially the hybrid of sorbet and real dairy-filled ice cream. It thus uses both milk and another added liquid, usually water, fruit juice, soda, or tea, to create an ice cream that is lighter and smoother than the traditional French style, but that has much more substance to it than a sorbet. The resulting dessert is then typically flavored with any fruit you could possibly want, ranging from lime to mango to strawberry to peach. Ice milk is now a dated term for French-style ice cream that's been made with less than 10% milk fat. The resulting dessert is flakier and less flavorful than its fattier counterpart, but it also costs less to make. Via FDA edict, this low milk fat content used to bar ice milk makers from calling their product ice cream. But in 1994, when the FDA changed its collective mind and allowed ice milks to start being labeled as low-fat ice creams, the term ice milk slowly got phased out entirely. In the years since, low-fat ice cream has become the dominant name in the low-cost, low-milk-fat ice cream market. semifreddo is like a miniature ancestor to the ice cream cake. It's 1 part stirred custard and 1 part mousse, whipped together and then frozen in a mold. The resulting dessert is simultaneously airy and rich, and it is sometimes topped with either nuts or melted chocolate. Related to semifreddo is spumoni. In Italy, spumoni's makeup is more akin to gelato than to semifreddo. However, spumoni, like semifreddo, is shaped using molds before being served with layers of nuts or candied fruits. Once spumoni made its way across the pond, however, it lost its molded shape, and it is today in the US typically served in big, shapeless scoops of Neapolitan flavors. Also known as bastani or buza, depending on where you're at, dondurma is an ice cream made from emulsified milk. The milk is thickened with mastic, which is a tree resin, salep, which is a flour made from orchid tubers, and sugar, which is, well, sugar, to create an extraordinarily dense dessert. This density gives dondurma a unique elastic quality that makes it among the toughest ice creams out there. You can actually eat it with a knife and fork. While dondurma originally hailed from Turkey's southern city of Kahramanmaraş, it can now be found all over the Middle East, developing into a popular mainstay from Tehran to Beirut. Perhaps the most recent development in ice cream technology, itim pad, also known as stir-fried ice cream, is a frozen dessert that emerged from Thai street vendors in the late aughts. By 2012, it had spread all over Southeast Asia, and by 2015, it had come to the US under the name of rolled ice cream. What sets itim pad apart from other ice creams is its quick creation process. It's made by pouring a sweet milk-based liquid over a freezing stainless steel disc, where it is then chopped and stirred until it takes on a creamy texture. The ice cream is then spread flat and wide, and it's rolled into cylinders for consumption. In all, the entire process, from pouring out the liquid to rolling it up, takes only 2 minutes. Billed as the ice cream of the future, Dippin' Dots first came about in 1988 when microbiologist Kurt Jones decided to play around with cryogenic freezing. Through this process, this mad scientist sought to redefine ice cream, and he kinda sorta did. Due to this unconventional creation process, however, Dippin' Dots require far colder storage temperatures than other ice creams. They need to be kept at negative 40 degrees. This makes their needs too cold for your standard grocery store to handle. And thus, today, Dippin' Dots are usually relegated to amusement parks and ball games. Over 30 years later, we're still waiting for that future takeover. So what do you think? What's your favorite style of ice cream? And are there any we missed? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other weird history food videos.